is willing to offer that job, offer those living arrangements, or even just help with resources. So yeah, how does it work? It's a web app, so you hop on our website, either connect as a refugee or as somebody who can provide support. Go through the onboarding, provide us with as little information as we can to make that connection with the resource you need. Then you would have the user fill out their profile. Make sure that when they do apply for that job, everything that is needed to make that that interaction is there. And then, this will be the browser where all the jobs or resources, housing situations are listed. And once the refugee finds something that they're looking for, that's when the connection is made. They link up directly with the resource. So yeah, for this project, so a lot of collaborative stuff happening. We had a bit of a brainstorming session on our online whiteboard. Then we moved to a prototyping tool. Start kind of making sure we have everything for the design. And finally, check out all this beautiful development happening here in the version control. It's all hardworking developers. But yeah, so, obviously we didn't have enough time to finish. What we identified that, if we had another week to work on this, probably the first thing we would work on is a bit of security research. How do you make sure that you keep the users that are linking up to this app, safe and secure? Then obviously it needs a lot of polish. And then finally just improve the search function for searching through jobs, filtering jobs, resources, and housing. And yeah, that is basically it for us. So I have a bunch of links here if you guys want to check out a design on Figma or repositories on Git. Unfortunately, I have a couple of live URLs, but they were not added by the deadline. It's totally after job. So very last but not least, we have this international collaborative resource document there. It's an international effort. It's being updated a lot. So,
all right, Vital, that's time.
All right, I'm done.
Thank you so much. Judges, Vital, please stand by. Let's see if judges have any questions here. Judges, if you can put yourself on the megaphone.
For questions, should we go in the same order that we introduced ourselves in?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Vital. Thank you, team. Thank you, bro. So what's up with the project? Do you have it running and doing something?
So yeah, we got a couple of demo links, but it's definitely not in a it's not ready to launch. So yeah.
Okay. What about your competition? Who do you think you're competing with?
So there's a couple of websites that offer mainly help with finding a job, right? We wanted to make sure that it encompasses everything, including housing and just any other level of assistance. So yeah, mainly there's a few efforts out there. I think that it's definitely not something you have too much of, right? Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think were your technical challenges so far, and like getting a platform like this running?
So our technical challenges, quite a bit of the work was done, but there was some React issues, making sure that everything builds the way it's supposed to. And I think with such a large team, you kind of need like almost a project manager or maybe more than one to kind of help organize things, And so I'm mainly a designer, and so when we kind of split up and try to figure out the front end issues, back end issues, it's like I was a little bit out of my depth. So I'd say it's an issue.
Gotcha. So could you talk about your team? Could you introduce the team?
Sure. We're a couple of buddies, and my youngest brother. We've been doing a few hackathons, and pretty much we always try to bring in different people of different skill and comfort level, and so. Because of the nature of this hackathon, there wasn't a cap limit on the team, and so we decided let's get as many people interested in helping as possible, right? And so it's a beautiful mix of variety of different skill levels, and so there's lots of collaborations on Discord. We had several dev rooms and several design rooms. People were hopping in, asking questions, getting issues resolved. Definitely felt like a real dev shop environment, so that was kind of awesome. Other than that, I did drop a LinkedIn post on the general channel, so make sure y'all drop in your LinkedIns and add us as well. We would love to talk about future projects. Let's collaborate, y'all.
So Justin Bravo, could you shoot some hearts up into the sky so I can see you?
Here's some hearts, some thumbs up. We're break rules.
Alex, come to you.
Thank you, Bravo. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dev Team Bravo, for working on this. I love the idea. I really like market solutions. The nice thing about this is it tends to leverage kind of the existing potential within a space. But given that it's a two-sided market solution, it requires both sides. I'm wondering, did you guys do any thinking or work on the growth strategy? How do you get employers to find out about this? How do you get Ukrainians to find out about this? How do you get the network effects going so that it becomes useful to both parties?
I did a little bit of thinking about how I would kind of grow this project. First and foremost, there's a bunch of things that need to be polished. For that type of product, you can't send a halfway working thing. This is somebody's livelihood trying to connect with that resource they need. And so definitely needs to be a little bit more polished, make sure that, bugs are ironed out. As far as, I would start with sharing it with different tech networks that I'm in. And a lot of people are looking for tech talent. But also, as the U.S. is preparing to bring in some Ukrainian refugees. I'm definitely interested in figuring out, how do you hook up to that? The refugees are showing up. So what can I do from small town Waynesboro, Virginia, to help somebody come in? What if I want to offer an extra room, in my house for free? Right now, I'm not 100% clear on how to make that happen, and I've looked into it quite a bit. So there's not enough resources out there. So that's kind of our angle here.
Makes sense. Yeah, sounds like you've done some good thinking on it. I like those ideas. How about in terms of your experience working on this team and working with this team on this project? Are there things that you think you would do differently knowing what you know
now? Yeah, I think that I could have been a little bit better, kind of as a project lead, being more communicative on different parts that were being worked on. Tons of people joined in and they were ready to offer their expertise, but at the same time didn't want to kind of mess with what we had going on, right? And so it was kind of a balancing act, figuring out, how to deal with such a large team. I definitely thought it was going to be 5-6 of those steps. So yeah, I think that just improve communication a little bit. We use Discord to manage all the various voice channels, and that was kind of amazing. We'd use that again, and maybe delegate some of these things to people who probably know a whole lot more than I do about it.
Again, I love this project. I think it's a really cool idea. The network effects are, obviously it's a little bit difficult to get off the ground, but I think things like this, they tend to take on a life of their own as soon as they, hit critical mass. So I, for one, really hope that this can continue on. It sounds like a really valuable resource. Vital, thank you for working on this and for the presentation.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us here.
All right, thanks, Vital and your team. Judges, if you want to talk amongst yourselves, feel free to go inside the private audio zone and provide your marks in the spreadsheet.